All right, moving on to our next game. Our next game is back in the arcades. This is a game called Starfire, so maybe we'll see more of Philip's video pack at some other time, but now we're back in the arcades. This is Starfire in 1978. Let's see the artwork for Starfire. So glad to be back in the arcades. There's the advertisement flyer, upright cabinet. This looks like it's by Exidy. We've seen some other video games by Exidy. There's the example of the arcade cabinet. Oh, they're going full on for the arcade experience. You're sitting inside of a cabinet and looking at the screen. So like you're getting separated from the rest of the arcade. In fact, this arcade style, we have not seen any cabinets that look like this. The only thing close for an arcade experience is where they have you hold the flight stick controller, but you're not encased around the cabinet like this one. All right, so there's the example of the control panel. It's holding it like we're flying a spaceship. Love it. And it looks like our only controls are just moving around and firing. That's the way to do arcade games. All right, here we go. Let's see what the manual looks like for Starfire, the operator manual by Exidy. All right, so this says general information. Here we go. Exidy Starfire is a single-player game which simulates combat between space-going fighters. The player can control the speed and direction of their fighter and attack enemy fighters with their lasers. The enemy fighters shoot fireballs at the player. The object is to accumulate points by destroying enemy fighters. Okay, so it's basically describing how you would play a space combat game or a space flying game. So it sounds really fun. Let's see if we got different versions. Nope. Let's check it out. We're stepping up to the arcade. It is December 1978. We're in the arcade playing Starfire by Exidy. All right, so here we go. Exidy Excitement brings you Wait a second. That font looks awfully familiar. I wonder what Starfire is trying to be. All right, let's put a coin in and see what happens. Cha-ching. Deposit more fuel or press start to begin mission. Okay, we'll put more fuel in. Cha-ching, cha-ching. And then the galaxy is depending on you. Good luck. All right, so we push start, and then now I am in control of my ship. And do I have fire? Yeah, I do. Oh my gosh. This is a blatant ripoff of Star Wars, ladies and gentlemen. Starfire. This looks fantastic, too, by the way. I don't hear any sound, though. There's no sound effects. At least it's not displaying from the arcade cabinet. Oh man, but there's fighters everywhere, and they look just like TIE fighters. I mean, there has to have been a lawsuit on this game. This was actually released in the arcades, and even the instructions didn't say anything about Star Wars. But I'm obviously shooting TIE fighters. Oh my gosh, and there's a Star Destroyer. But it has no sound. I want to see if the sound's turned off. Let's see. No, it's good. It's just not just playing the sound for us. So sadly, I guess they didn't get a chance to emulate the sound for the arcade cabinet. But lots of fun. It's very easy controls. Works well. You run around, shoot, and it looks like the more coins you put in, the more fuel you have. So the more time you get to shoot everything. And a cabinet where you were able to sit inside just probably added to the experience for 1978. Oh yeah, I love it. Now I just want to know if George Lucas knew about this game. Cool. All right, yeah, so we heard from the chat that this would have been right after Star Wars came out, 1977. So this is a year after. They had a full year to pretty much rip off the game. Lots of fun. But we're not here to judge who's ripping off who. It's a good game, and for the time, that's above average, especially for the arcade experience. I'd say this, we didn't hear the sound, but we're going to go and give this one a 4 stars for 1978. Well done. That is a great game. All right, so moving on to our next game. We're going back home to play a home computer game, and I think, ladies and gentlemen, this is our very first text adventure game. And as you might be asking, you're not doing text adventure games, are you? Yes, we are. We're doing every video game. How long we're going to get in a text adventure game? Not too far. So let's see the artwork. This is Adventureland, released on the TRS-80. This is by Scott Adams. The original was on the TRS-80 in 1978. And you can see here the version that is displayed was the one that came out later that was published in 1979. Scott Adams took the idea from mainframe computers because they had lots of text adventure games that you could play on mainframe computers in college. And so he, after he got his hands on a personal computer, programmed his own text adventure games, and the one we're playing is the first one he made at his home before publishing it. So the 1979 that you see on the cassette here is when it was published. And it was published for lots of different home computers, but this is the very first one on the TRS-80. Here we go. Let's check out Adventureland. This is December 1978, playing Adventureland. And so just like we had before, we're going to see what's on the disc, and we got to find which one it is. Oh, so we want Adventure 1, so we just do ADV. And, oh, it may not be the right one. I want Advent. So we want to back out. So we want to do a different one. We're going to go ahead and try it again. If you want to play the adventure games, we just have to do Adventure Game 1, because this is the first one he ever made. There we go. And it's going to ask us which adventure. This is his very first one. So we're going to push number 1. And here we go. Oh, what's my name? Well, let's see who's in the chat. Last person in the chat was Casey Club Kirby. So Casey, let's see if they let us put the whole thing in. What is your name? Casey Club Kirby. 15 seconds, please. Now, full disclosure, home computer games take a very long time to play. No, we do not. Take a very long time to load. And so we're speeding this up, obviously, with emulation. So I'm not giving you the actual 1978 home computer experience, because that would take about 10 minutes to load the game from the disc or cassette. So here it is, Adventure. This program will allow you to have an adventure without ever leaving your armchair. You'll find yourself in a strange new world. You'll be able to look at, pick up, and manipulate objects you find there. You'll be able to travel from location to location. I will be your puppet in this adventure. You can command me with 2 words. So the first text adventure game we ever had was 2-word English sentences. They have over 120 word vocabulary. Whoa. So some commands I know is like help, save, score, inventory, quit. Okay, so please don't copy or accept pirated copy of adventure. Don't copy. Press enter. All right, so I'm in a forest. Visible items are trees. This is how you played a text adventure. At least this example, Scott Adams always had at the top information of where you are and what you see, and then down at the bottom has descriptions that you read. And then a voice booms out, "Welcome to adventure number 1, Adventureland. In this adventure, you'll define treasures and store them away." This, ladies and gentlemen, is based on the very, very first text adventure game called Colossal Cave Adventure. So he used this example of what he saw in college, and he just made a home version that you could play. Because Colossal Cave Adventure had the same idea. You just are typing commands of what you want to do, going down in the cave to find treasures, then you bring them back out of the cave. Very simple idea, but it was the first adventure game, and this is the first text adventure game that we've ever played. All right, to see how well you're doing, you say score. So let's see our score. We probably have a fat 0. Yeah, I scored 0 treasures. Tell me what you want to do. Help. Oh, and it just repeats what you can do. Okay, I can jump, swim, climb. I can do. Okay, let's just jump. Can we jump? Not here. Okay, we can't jump here. Can I climb? I need a direction too. Okay, climb up. I can't go in that direction. Oh, now it's getting attitude with me. So the computer doesn't even, it doesn't want to function with me. All right, what if we look? Look. Okay, I see nothing special. Yeah, you see being a smart aleck. And a lot of the text adventure games were that way, just for some of the humor behind it. So let's go north. Use different cardinal directions. I don't know how to north something. What? Go north? Okay, so we went north. Well, what's here? Look. We see nothing special. And this is just a brief example of how to play a text adventure game. But this is as far as we'll go with Adventureland. Very influential for the adventure genre. And this is the first one we've ever seen. But there's the example of what it is to play a text adventure game. Thank you, Scott Adams. We'll see more of Scott Adams and adventure games. So this one is very good for the time, especially for an adventure game you could play at home. So we're going to give this one 3.5 stars, above average for a text adventure game. We don't judge other genres here on Chronologically Gaming. All genres have their due.